Congratulations, you're pregnant again, and this time around you are planning a natural birth after a C-section. Good for you, you are in the right place, because today I'm going to show you how to do just that. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what's true and what's false regarding VBACs, how to prepare, and what you can do to make sure that you actually get your vaginal birth. But first, my name is Maria. I'm a birth doula and Lamaze certified childbirth educator, as well as the owner of the app Natural Birth by Echo, an evidence-based resource with all of the tips and tricks you need to make your unmedicated birth a positive one. First things first, let's unpack the myths, the many myths regarding vaginal births after cesarean, starting with the most common: your body doesn't work. It didn't work. You couldn't birth your baby because your pelvis was too small, your contractions weren't effective, baby too big, BMI too high. I just want to say, first of all, that you are not broken. You are resilient. You are powerful. A previous cesarean does not in any way define you or your ability to give birth normally. It's simply a chapter in your unique parenting journey. This is the time to trust in your own wisdom and your innate ability to bring life into this world. I am honestly in awe of VBAC mamas. It's hard enough to give birth inside a system that does not support normal labor. So the fact that you can stay confident through all of that and the disempowering lies regarding VBACs, I am truly amazed by your strength, truly. Okay, the next big myth is that a previous C-section means that all future births will be C-sections. That is not the case at all. The American College of Gynecologists, which is very conservative in its views on VBACs, by the way, even they say that about 90% of post-cesarean women are eligible for a future VBAC. 90%. So odds are you fall into that category. If you have a low transverse incision and you don't have a history of uterine rupture, then go for it. Now, you're probably asking, if the American College of Gynecologists says it's fine, then why do so many women still believe that a previous cesarean necessitates a future cesarean? The sad reason is that it's because women are told they have to. The obstetrician does not want to take on the liability of a VBAC, so they won't, as a general rule, support these births. This is why only about 15% of C-section moms go on to get their vaginal birth, despite 90% of them being eligible for it. They don't have a supportive provider, which leads me into the first thing you need for a successful VBAC: a good support system. Every single person attending your birth should be 100% supportive of your preferences. A 2008 study found that when you are attended by a VBAC-friendly provider who sees VBACs as a safe and viable option, then that alone makes you 73% more likely to actually get your vaginal birth. You won't get pressured at the last minute, and you'll receive the support and encouragement you need to get the birth you want. An unsupportive provider is the number one reason why women get repeat cesareans. The provider doesn't want to take you on as a liability, so they might theoretically support VBACs, but in practice, they don't want to stick their neck out and risk their license. So how do you know providers are VBAC friendly? Your best bet is to find a midwife and plan for an out-of-hospital birth, as midwives have the highest VBAC success rates. But if you do want to stick to a hospital, check out ican-online.org and learn about your local options. This is a whole community dedicated to helping you achieve your vaginal birth, and they are truly an incredible resource for all VBAC mamas. In addition to a supportive provider, I highly recommend hiring a doula. Doulas can significantly boost your chances of a vaginal birth by advocating for your birth plan, providing emotional and physical support, and helping you remain confident and focused, all of which are critical for a VBAC. A 2018 systematic review showed that doula-attended births are far more likely to go well, with as many as 80% of post-cesarean mothers achieving their desired VBAC when attended by a doula. With my first baby, I was not a VBAC mom, obviously, because it was my first, but my birth was incredibly high risk. We had a 2-month NICU stay. It was a lot, but my birth went really well. It was a beautiful naturalized induction. I didn't even need an epidural. Everybody on the floor was shocked, and I owe it, at least in part, to having a wonderful doula. She advocated for me. She helped me through those Pitocin contractions, which are no joke, by the way, and I got my mostly unmedicated birth. And you best believe I wanted her at my second birth as well. So hire a doula. It can get pricey, but a lot of newer doulas will offer discounted rates so they can gain experience, and a lower price does not necessarily mean less value when it comes to a doula. As long as you connect well, that is the most important factor. Okay, so you've got a good support system. The next factor you want to consider when preparing for a VBAC is your location. Just statistically, you are more likely to achieve your VBAC when giving birth at home. About 85 to 90% of home birth mothers attempting a VBAC go on to achieve one. No other location has a success rate quite this high. However, I need to point out that the data here is limited just because there aren't a ton of home births to begin with, so we are working with smaller numbers. That being said, home is the best location for VBAC success. Closely following home, in second place, we have birth centers. About 70 to 80% of birth center moms who want a VBAC will go on to get one. This is because birth centers are run by midwives who are highly trained in the art of true physiological birth. While an obstetrician or doctor specializes in surgical and emergency births, a midwife knows the ins and outs of normal birth. So if you want a normal birth, they are the best option. I also want to point out that on a level of personal interest, a midwife does not want you to have a cesarean delivery. It's annoying for them. They have to transfer you, interrupt the routine, so they are personally invested in helping you get your vaginal birth. This is not necessarily the case for doctors and obstetricians. While they might support your VBAC, they will not be as personally or professionally invested in helping you to get it. Which leads me to the third option, hospitals. Unfortunately, the VBAC success rates at hospitals are pretty low. Now, I've seen very differing reports on this. Some stats say it's as low as 13%. Others say it's as high as 70%, and both of these are actually true, depending on whether your hospital and your provider are VBAC friendly. So I'm not in any way discouraging you from going to a hospital if that's where you want to be. Just make sure that it's one that supports your birth plan. Again, I want to point you in the direction of ican-online.org to do some digging on your local options. Okay, so you've got the support team, you've got the location down for your upcoming birth. Next thing I want you to do is go back and revisit your previous cesarean experience. Processing a prior C-section, especially if it was traumatic, is crucial for achieving your vaginal birth. The first thing you want to do is examine what led to the previous cesarean. Was it true medical necessity? Was it pressure from your provider? Unexpected complications? This helps you identify factors that are within your control so you can make different decisions in light of your previous experiences. This could look like hiring a doula, laboring at home for as long as possible. The app Natural Birth by Echo has some great resources on helping you tailor your birth plan for optimal VBAC success. The next thing I want for you, and this is really important, emotional recovery, especially if your cesarean was a traumatic one. Unprocessed trauma can negatively impact your next birth by fostering fear, a distrust of your own body, feelings of failure when you're not a failure. All of this disrupts the labor process. Your body does not want to give birth under stressful circumstances. So if you go into labor anxious, your brain will literally release hormones that shut labor down. It's a survival mechanism to ensure that your baby is born in a safe environment. So give yourself that safe environment. Process any emotional trauma from your previous birth so you can go into this next one with confidence. And this is gonna look different for everyone. Some women journal, others go to therapy. Me, personally, I found a lot of healing in my Catholic faith. You know yourself best, and I am not a therapist, so I'm not gonna tell you exactly how to do this, but I will tell you to do this. Emotional recovery is everything. You have been through a lot. Okay, under this category of mental prep is birth education. Know the facts, take a course, take my course. A good evidence-based birth course is going to walk you through avoiding interventions, selecting your birth team, preparing your body to labor efficiently and well, navigating hospital policy. This is all key to the success of your vaginal birth. Obviously, I'm biased. I think that the Echo Natural Birth course is the best on the market. I guarantee it. Not to mention, every course client gets a free one-on-one coaching call with me to go over your goals, your previous birth, how you can make this one go better. I then write up a personalized action plan for you to follow step by step so you get tailored instruction on how to prepare yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, all the leaves. for your vaginal birth. I usually charge in the hundreds of dollars for this, by the way, but you get it for free just by taking the course. Moving on from mental preparation, physical preparation is equally important. Birth is obviously a very physical event. Fortunately, the physical preparation you need to do for a VBAC is not much different from any other type of birth. Nourish your body, move your body, stay fit, do spinning babies, see a chiropractor. All of these will really help. The Echo app walks you through all of the specifics on how you can prep your body throughout each week of pregnancy. Something I do really want to emphasize for VBAC mamas in particular is protein. And even if you're not a VBAC mama, you still need protein. Your uterus is just going to work better when it's nourished with adequate protein. I knew a vegetarian doula who stayed vegetarian her entire first pregnancy, and labor was exhausting. She pushed forever, and she got that baby out by the skin of her teeth. During her second pregnancy, she temporarily gave up her vegetarianism, got plenty of meat, grass-fed beef, liver, salmon, all of it. And when she gave birth the second time, she was astounded by the difference. She could just feel her body working more efficiently. She had better stamina. She pushed more easily now that she was actually nourished with animal proteins. Aim for about 80 ounces of an animal protein a day, and no, protein powder does not count. I do not recommend protein powder at all. It is not good for your baby or your pregnancy, and I explain this in the app if you want to check it out. All that to say, it is my opinion that you as a VBAC mom can particularly benefit from protein because your uterine muscle has a scar that is slightly more likely to rupture in labor, slightly. So strengthen that muscle and lessen your likelihood of a rupture by eating protein. Granted, I haven't seen any specific studies on protein intake by VBAC moms in particular, but everything I've seen tells me that you in particular could really benefit from this. Unfortunately, when you do get an epidural, whether you're a VBAC mom or not, you are also subject to electronic fetal monitoring, which is associated with a 63% increase in the likelihood of a C-section. So plan for a natural birth to set yourself up for success. Now, the epidural is not the only drug you want to avoid. Pitocin and other labor-inducing drugs are a huge no-no, so do not get induced. Wait to go into labor naturally. I've mentioned before that you have a very, very, very small chance of a uterine rupture, even if you had a previous C-section, but when you get induced, that less than 1% chance goes up to as high as 6-ish%, which is staggering. This is obviously super dangerous to you and your baby, so just don't do it. Just go into labor on your own. That wraps up my top tips on how to achieve a natural birth after a cesarean. If you liked this video, you are going to love my other stuff, so hit subscribe to get the evidence-based information you need to have the kind of birth you want, and I will see you next time.